Hi everyone, Kerryn here from Holistic Essentials Therapy and Consulting, bringing to you this week's energy forecast and spiritual insights for Monday the 27th of March through until Sunday the 2nd of April 2023. There is some big stuff that's happening energetically, cosmically, and planetarily at the moment. And by planetarily, I mean here within the human collective on Mother Earth. Last week, Pluto shifted from Capricorn into Aquarius, and it's going to continue to move in and out of Aquarius and Capricorn until November this year. Until November this year. And then in March 2024, it is going to enter fully into Aquarius. Now, Pluto has not been in Aquarius for 200 years. So this is like major stuff energetically. And it has been in Capricorn since 2008. And during this time, Pluto is the planet of deep transformation. It rules over the cycles of death and rebirth. And its energy is the fuel to the fire that burns the fire, that destroys, right? It destroys all that no longer serves us. It destroys, it burns, it transmutes, brings to the surface also all that is dark and hidden within us, deep in our psyche and our subconscious, our conditioning, our programming, whatever is kind of been hiding behind the scenes, deep in the shadows of your life. And what is it that rules you? And we know it's the subconscious mind that is our programming, that rules our actions even when we're not consciously aware of it. And so this energy of Pluto really helps to, it's like the phoenix rising, burns what no longer serves to the ground, so that that deep, profound transformation can take place. What skeletons in the closet are there? What have you hidden? What have you buried deeply that you haven't wanted to deal with? And I look back to 2008, and from that period of time, I'm like, wow, I was deep in my shadow during those years. I had my head in the sand. I did not have the capacity or the tools or the resources to deal with my demons, to deal with my pain and my trauma and my suffering. And so I buried it deeply and I numbed it with whatever I could get my hands on. And, I look back over that time and I'm like, wow, so much personal transformation just for myself has occurred during this reign of Pluto and Capricorn. And the invitation is there for you to really reflect back, look back from now until 2008, and really ask yourself, where have you experienced the deepest transformations? Perhaps that's been in your relationships and setting healthy boundaries. Perhaps you've made significant changes in the way that you live your life, in the way that you work, in what it is that you want to experience in your life. And Pluto also represents our deepest desires as well as our deepest fears. And as I mentioned, the subconscious programming, what's going on in the background. And so Pluto works in the background of our lives, moving us through constant cycles of death and rebirth until we are transformed into our fullest potential. And how much we allow it to work its magic on us, and how much we really are open to leveling our understanding of ourselves, of life, of the universe, and advancing, ascending in our level of consciousness. And let's be honest, there has been so much I mean, death and rebirth, if we think about ourselves on a cellular level, we're constantly dying and being reborn because our cells die and are renewed continuously. So, from a physical perspective, from a cellular perspective, we're constantly dying and rebirthing, dying and rebirthing. We look at the seasons, there's the changing of the seasons, autumn to spring, winter, summer, we look at nature, continuous death and rebirth. And then of course there's our own personal grief and loss that we're experiencing, and I feel too that that's been magnified, especially over the last few years with everything. So grief has been magnified, I feel, very much so over the last 3-4 years. And I can't help but feel intuitively and energetically that we human beings, we're beautiful, miraculous little creatures that avoid pain and suffering at all cost. And I know even for myself, if I look back over the last 20 years that Pluto was in Capricorn, I did not want to deal with my pain. I did not want to deal with my grief. It was too much. It was too intense. I didn't want to. And even for myself now, in the last few months of my life, I have allowed myself, and I am not trying to avoid or numb or pretend that I'm not experiencing grief. I am being fully present with that. And it's that beautiful transformational energy of Pluto that I truly believe has been the vehicle and allowed me and my life experiences to be able to sit here in that space. And perhaps that's been your experience also. If you are, however, deeply struggling with grief, then I highly recommend that you seek professional support. Grief Line is available here in Australia, and reach out for help. You don't actually have to do it alone. And let's be honest, death is confronting for all of us. As we age, we begin to be faced with our mortality. And so there's so much that Pluto is activating and awakening in our lives. And it does often bring something to an end. We think about the death of the ego, in the Matrix with Neo. If we think about wanting to shift and transform, like whenever we want to tap into our intuition, when we want to explore the expansiveness of the universe and really dive into a self-awareness and self-development and personal growth and spiritual growth, there is a death that takes place because you're no longer the person that you used to be. And through the course of our lives, we undergo so many of those. And the reason I'm talking about this so much this week is because this is what Pluto is doing for us now. It's giving us the opportunity to reflect back, to identify, and to take action on what changes has your journey been encouraging you to make. What are you avoiding? What are you pretending is not happening? What are you denying? What are you pushing down? What is it that you are unwilling to face at this time? And this is what Pluto is really asking us to do. Pluto also guides us to where the power lies, where it lies, not only within ourselves, but collectively. And it helps us to transform and shift power dynamics, both on an individual and a collective level. I find this so fascinating. Like, we are really shifting into some big transformational times over the next kind of 12 months and so on. So Pluto changing signs can also expose, so shifting from Capricorn to Aquarius, where power has been abused, and can bring a shift in that power. Now, that to me, I'm excited to see and observe and witness and be a part of during my time here on Mother Earth. There's also transformations that have been taken, if we think about the collective in business, materialism, what we focus our attention on. There's a shift happening in what we collectively will no longer stand for. You know, things have got to change. They really do. So as it's moving into Aquarius, we are going to be really looking at community-driven, people-driven power. It really is going to come back to us standing and owning and embracing and stepping into our own individual power, which then flows out into the collective personal power. And as we move, I just find that so exciting. I really do, because what are we here for? I mean, some of you may never have asked that question, and that's okay. For me personally, I have been asking that question for as long as I can remember. I was, even 10, I have memories of when I was 10, questioning the power around me, questioning the status quo, not buying into, and just having this, I want to say, deep faith and belief in how kind of the universal energies work, and like the unconditional love of the divine, whatever name that was at that time, and just not agreeing with how things were being programmed or presented or to me. And and I've just had that for as long as I can remember. And so I guess that I can honestly say that the losing both of my parents, and no, this is not a sob story, like I'm not like playing on this, but it's my reality right now. But something that's really showing up so profoundly for me is making the most of this human experience, making the most of your life, living life, doing what lights you up. Like, what are the experiences? What are we wasting our precious life force energy on? And this is another thing that you're being asked to do also. Where are you choosing to give your energy to? And is it worthy of receiving your energy? And how is it depleting your precious life force that's here to sustain you for the short period of time that you're in this human form in this particular life? There is profound transformation it's speeding up. It's been happening for several years now. And I just look back to 2008, I look back to 2012, I look back to 2014. There's been so many incredible, powerful waves of opportunities for mankind, the human collective, to get its shit together and to figure out what it wants to do here. That's how I feel anyway. As we move into the week, later into the week, March 30, Venus is conjunct Uranus in Taurus. So this is like Venus and Uranus coming together in the sign of Taurus is really like, it's radical love. It's like bringing in that incredible grounded love energy. And you'll be asked, like, how will you take this energy and fuel some self-love for yourself? If we at what point in our experience, like at what age, especially as women, and I know that this affects men as well, but at what point do we actually go, you know what, I fucking really am so proud of who I am. I'm swearing. Whoopsies. That might not actually. Oh, sorry. But at what point, forgot where I was, what point do we stop trying to be something to please somebody else? At what point do we stop doing what we love? At what point do we actually stop and go, you know what? I've been through some shit. My life hasn't been easy, or my life has been great. I am worthy of everything. I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of my own love. I am lovable. And I am the best version of myself that I can be right now. I've just seen too many women at the later stages of their lives still not happy with themselves, and it breaks my heart. Because what's the point? Like when is enough enough? When are you going to be? What is it that you need in order to be enough to receive your own self-love? Because the expectations that we put on ourselves, we would never put on our children or our best friends or our partners or our loved ones. We just wouldn't do that. Love can be found, really, in the most surprising and unlikely places. And you're invited to keep an open mind. And as we move into April is kicking off the eclipse season for 2023. And this is, again, more transformation. Eclipses are such a highly transformative time. And April was going to bring some huge shifts and changes, and an opportunity to take action in a different way, an opportunity to start something new, an opportunity to think and feel in a different way that serves you in a more loving way. There are some big planetary and cosmic events occurring in April, and we'll talk more about that next week. So I'm going to ask, all right, for all of us collectively, so as I tune into the beautiful love and support of my guides and the divine hearts, the cosmic heart of all that is, what is it that you would have us focus on in this week ahead? What is the focus that you would have us focus on? Lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. This is the focus. And I love this. It's so perfectly aligned with Pluto being very active at this moment. And, giving us this grace period, this opportunity to create, to make changes based on our experiences with Pluto and Capricorn before it. Once it goes into Aquarius, it'll be there for the next 20 years. So ask yourself, if I could change one thing that is not serving my best and highest good, what would that be? And already intuitively, we're intelligent human beings. We are at our core highly, highly intuitive. It's our natural state of being. Whether we nurture it, strengthen it, pay attention to it, ignore it, listen to it, free will, people. We can do whatever we choose. But you're really being asked to review and have a look at what is in your world, whether that's in your habits, your choices, the people around you, the actions that you're taking, whatever it may be. Then ask yourself, how can you let that go? How can you let it go? How can you make a shift? And ask your heart in your meditations and your journaling. Ask your heart. All right. So I'm asking also for, where can we focus our attention? Where can we focus our attention this week energetically? What is it that we can tune into to support us in the week ahead, to support us in making positive changes in our lives? What can we individually tune into? The Holy Grail. Inner discovery. How gorgeous is this? Inner discovery, finding sacredness. You are what you seek. I love I love that. You are what you seek. We are the light of the divine. We are connected to all beings through all space and time, especially the soul overlay, the soul expansion expression of who you are. And so what you can focus your attention on is that inward reflection, to nurture and cultivate the connection and the listening and the opening to the wisdom of your heart, your higher self, your soul. And who is the goddess? Thank you, my beautiful guides. Thank you, Divine Mother of all that is, the infinite heart, unconditional loving heart of the divine. All that is. Who is the goddess that, if we choose, who is the goddess that chooses to walk with us in this week ahead, to give us the support, the insight, the clarity, and the direction to do all that we're being asked to do, should we choose to do so? Oh, Calliope. She's beautiful. The goddess Calliope. She is the elocution. She is the goddess of expression, the goddess of understanding the music and the magic and the power of words. She is the goddess that can support you in creating powerful intentions for yourself. She is the goddess that can support you and help you in using and finding the most powerful and right words for you that can support you in setting healthy boundaries, in sharing your decisions, your intentions, in asking for what it is that you want from life, from those around you, from yourself, in a way that is empowering, in a way that offers you the opportunity to make your words count, and in a way that matters most to you. So I hope that serves you well. As always, please be kind and gentle to yourself. The world needs more kindness. Namaste, blessed be. So much love to you all. See you all next week.